Good morning, brothers and sisters, and welcome to our program Mental Health. Today we are going to discuss about addiction, but with a new friend that I would like to introduce himself to you.
Yes, my name is Geoffrey Protich Bet. I'm a counseling psychologist and a certified addiction counselor. I work in a rehab setup.
You are a specialist in addiction?
Yeah, addiction. Yeah,
meaning that you are addicted or you talk about addiction?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll just say addiction, it's a brain disease.
Okay.
To define it, it's a brain disease. It's a relapsing disorder. People at times go through the process, but they find themselves going back again using. So it's a relapsing disorder.
Okay, a relapsing disorder. I think the word is so big for me. Can you?
To relapse. Okay, fine. To relapse means to go back to the same habit.
Okay.
Disorder, you are not functioning well. That's a disorder.
Okay.
So once you are an alcoholic or an addict, it means you have a disorder.
Okay.
It's a pathological disorder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a friend who has gone to the rehab for 5 times.
Yeah.
And nothing is getting...
It means he has not... There's something wrong about maybe how he does the program, because how the program works, it should come from an alcoholic himself.
Yeah.
An addict to have a desire to stop using, because people go through processes of addiction. It starts like a joke. You know, a friend introduced you to it. We call it pre-contact user stage. Then we move on to experimenting. So you want to do kuber and bangi, that's more of experimenting. You want to do alcohol and maybe heroin, for example, that's still experimenting. So that's the second stage. The third stage is called social user stage. You only use when there are events. You want to interact with people, but you're not addicted. You are still functional, social stage. So the fourth one is called heavy user stage or regular stage. Now you start behaving like anytime someone buys for you a drink, you'll indulge, but still functional. Now, the fifth stage is called problematic stage. At that stage now, signs and symptoms start showing up. You don't go to work, maybe accidents because of alcoholism. You don't show up when you have booked a session with someone or you have an event, so that shows there's a problem. That's called problematic stage. Missing work, you have issues, you are sick because of alcoholism. The sixth stage is called addiction stage. Now, addiction stage you cannot do without your alcohol or
you
your
have
drugs.
headache when you don't take.
When you don't take in the morning, you have shakes. You feel like you need something.
Cold.
It's cold. So that's what we call addiction stage.
Okay.
And people experience different hangovers. For alcoholics, heroin users, and also bang users. So when you are addicted, you cannot function without it. So people shake. There's no appetite in the morning. People have insomnias, nightmares and such. So
it is at that time they talk about kutoa lock.
Kutoa lock asubuhi sasa. Hiyo inamaanisha kutoa lock asubuhi. They sell everything they have, just go and have a, because the body is not functioning. If you are a driver, the first thing you do is to have a drink. If you are a teacher, so you experience what we call, you cannot function without alcohol. So alcohol becomes your power. Until you take it, that's when. The last stage is called hitting rock bottom. Rock bottom means people hit rock bottom differently. Jail, mental institutions like Madare, insanity or death. But people do recover if they have the desire. Your friend, you said you have a friend who has gone to rehab for 5 times.
Yes.
He may be having another underlying problem that need to be assessed by a psychiatrist. So we work with a team of multidisciplinary kind of. You don't work as counselors alone, but you involve also other psychiatrists, social workers, just to help this person. So
and
the
maybe
best
a priest also.
a priest, because actually spirituality is very important in dealing with alcoholism. I do say alcoholism or drug addiction is a spiritual problem. That means it needs spiritual interventions. So what we have in programs is it's a spiritual program.
Okay.
Someone should believe in a power greater than themselves to recover from alcoholism. So those are the 6 stages I've explained.
Okay.
So your friend need to go back again and find out, is it that he's not taking the program seriously, or he has an underlying problem, like schizophrenia or bipolar or such.
Wow, we have talked about the stages
of addiction.
Now you mean it is possible to heal from addiction?
Yeah, I've seen many people go through the process. And just to go back, you know, there are many types of addictions.
Yes.
So people make mistakes. You recover from alcoholism and you cross addict to sex addiction.
Wow.
So we have to talk about types. We have alcoholism, drug addiction. We have gambling now, which is so. We have SportPesa in Kenya. We have Petika. We have workaholic. You have to check also further.
I think I'm Wakaluku.
So if you don't live a more balanced life where your work interfered with how you live on a normal day, you need to also screen for if you have issues with work. We have internet addictions, shopping addictions, phone addiction, internet, and more so sex addiction.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are many types of addiction. But people do recover if they follow the 12-step program. In the program, there's a treatment plan you can use to help people come out of addiction. Yeah.
Then if I get you well, I can shift from drug addiction to work addiction.
To workaholic, yeah.
Then there, I'm not recovered.
You are not recovered. You have just done what we call cross addiction.
Okay.
Recovery is just quitting, or it's more holistic. You have to improve your lifestyle. For alcoholics and addicts, you find them, even how they dress, what they eat, where they live, it's so low class because of addiction. We give people give priority to alcoholism because the body demands it. This is what we call compulsivity. It's that strong urge to have it. People crave for alcohol. I don't know if people crave for sex, but it's a kind of
maybe
cravings. So for alcoholism or drug addiction, people have that strong desire to use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then to get healed, this craving or this strong feeling, desire, that is to be dealt with.
Sure.
Can you talk about it a bit?
So cravings, just to explain and to make it clear, as an alcoholic or addict, the more you use, you are chemically dependent. So you cannot take alcohol for a day or use bang for a day and you get addicted to it. It's a process. That's why we have to explain about the stages. So when someone goes to rehab, the first thing we do is do what we call detox. To help them, detox means to remove the toxic in the system, like alcohol. The people have used more than one drug. We call them polyusers. They have used more than one drug. So combining all those drugs in one system, it causes a lot of effects in the brain and our liver and all those kind of. So it messes with our system. But people do recover. They go through, when they go to rehab, there's what we call 3 months program. This program runs for the first 2 weeks, they are going through detox and having orientation, just because people are so disoriented when they are addicted. So the first 2 weeks they go through primary treatment. I have said orientation, primary treatment for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, they go through the 12-step program. From step 1 to step 12. Step 1 says we admit we are powerless over alcohol and our life had become unmanageable. So an alcoholic should really admit. That's the basic foundation of the program. So that desire. Then some are put on medication because of how they look. They need some detox and such kind of stuff. Then primary treatment, relapse prevention, then discharge plan. When you prepare this person in rehab, what he should do next when they leave rehab.
That's nice. I had a friend, and he went for addiction. I had some group of alcoholics, we are discussing together. He told me, Father, when they took me to the rehab, my mind was at the day I will come out.
They are counting days. He's
counting days. And he even said when he came out, the first thing he did is to look for where they are selling drugs. And he entered, he came home drunk. So it means he did not go through the 12 stages well, or what might be the problem?
The guy maybe was in denial. This is what we call denial. It's part of the disease. Many addicts don't want to accept that they are sick. At times, I admit clients in rehab, and some come, in a bad shape, but still think it's okay. So denial is part of. So when they're in rehab, as counselors, what we deal with more is dealing with ambivalence. They want to stop, at the same time they want to maintain. Some are in denial, total that I don't have a problem, it's my wife who has a problem. Or my boss. Or they say, You know, my wife is more beautiful than the one for the boss. So that's the boss hates me. So
The boss is jealous.
he's jealous. And mine is more beautiful. Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
But people recover. I've seen many people have gone through this process.
Yeah.
I've worked in Ria for over 10 years now. So I've seen people transform. When they come and they leave Ria, more better people.
Yeah. Would you like to go through the 12 steps for us?
The 12 steps. Yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah.
So the first step I've said, it says we admit we are powerless over alcohol and our life was unmanageable. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Step 2 says we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us back to sanity. So we are trying to help an addict know that there is hope and we need higher power. Higher power here, we refer higher power here because some people come to rehab when they resent God. So it's a process for them to really deal with that. So because they ask themselves questions, if God was there, do I have to go through all this? Suicide, I've gone through hell and all those things. So the first step is admitting. The second one is having hope. The third one, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over the care of God as we understood Him. So it's like we are surrendering to higher power. In rehab, mostly we use